Hello guys, today I'm going to show you how I model this remote control. You can see up here on top of the model is a chamfer, and the bottom is a fillet. And in the between, we have a nice blending surface between the fillet and the chamfer. And we also have a surface that is tangent in here. Go inside the geometry. And we also have a button. We have the top piece and the bottom piece. So hope you enjoyed the tutorial. In the project workbench, I will create a new sketch on the top view. And we create a slot on the green line. And we set the radius to 50. But I have a problem because I have redundant constraints, number 8. So I click on the number 8 constraint, which is this one, and I delete it. Now I can set the radius again to 50. And the length of this line 120. Selecting this point, and the center line. Hit S for symmetry constraint. Then I close. I go up to the view and toggle the axis course to show the arrow. I go to extrude. Let's try 20. Symmetric. Okay. Next, I want to create a chamfer up here. So I click on this line, go to the chamfer, and I will chamfer it to 8. The next step is I want to remove these 3 faces. And I want to create a fillet down here. I keep the chamfer up here, and then in between I will I will blend in between the chamfer and the fillet. So in this video, I'm going to show you 2 ways for you to delete these 3 faces. The first way is you can go to the curve workbench. So this way is parametric. Now you select faces that you want to keep. I select this face, this one, and the back face. And also come to here, select this face, and this face. Now I go up to the parametric solid. Now if I hide the chamfer, so this is what I have. I just remove these 3 faces. Okay, so in case this way doesn't work for you, you can go to the draw workbench. Let me hide the grid. I hide the surface, and let me show the chamfer. I click on the chamfer and go to create a new clone, and I hide the chamfer. I click on the clone and I go to downgrade. Now the clone disappear, but we have faces. I control select faces that I want to delete. This one, and this one. And I just simply delete it. I shift select faces. And union them together. Yes. Okay. Now we have exactly the same result, but the main difference is this fusion doesn't link with the chamfer. This surface is linking with the chamfer. Okay, so in this video, I'm going to use this the first way. So we'll deleting the fusion and deleting the faces. Let me show the surface, and I call this one main surface. The next step is I want to create a fillet down here. So I will bridge between this edge and this edge. So I go to the curves workbench. I will use the plane surface. So in order to use the plane surface, I can select this face and then this edge. This face and then this edge. And plane surface. Now the default shading of the plane surface is G2 continuity, which is really nice. So I will keep that. The next step is I want to fill this hole and add the tension up here and the tension down here. I go to the surface workbench and click on the filling tool and starting to fill from this edge and select edges in sequence. So I go inside the first edge, which is this one, and I go to selecting the face and choose the G1 continuity, accept. Now we just add the tension in here. I double click on the plane surface edge, which is this one, go to the face and G1. Okay. You can do in the same, or you can mirror this surface to the other side. And go to the part workbench and go to the mirror in the YZ plane. The next step is I want to create a hole up here. I create a new sketch on the top view, but I want to offset this one up to 10. And I will reference this arc. And then I will create a center arc. Start from here. I select this point, this point, this point, and then this point. I hit 8 for horizontal. And we set the radius to 33. Next, I will create a rectangle. Start from here to here. Selecting this point and this point. Hit C. Selecting this line and turn that into construction. Close. Now I go to extrude 10, symmetric. Okay. Now I can control selecting this face, this the main surface, and the extrude, and I go to cut. Okay. The next step is I want to create an arc to connect between this point and then this point. So to do that, I control selecting this edge and then this point. And I will create a new sketch and I choose normal to edge. Okay. Now I will view the section. I rotate the view a little bit. And I will reference this arc so that I will have this point. I go back to the front view. I create an arc. Connect from this point to this point. Curve inside. And we set the radius to 100. Close. Now I will create the surface and using this arc to control the curvature of the surface. I go to the surface workbench. Go to the filling tool and select edges in sequence. And we start from here. Now we just fill the surface. But in order to select in the arc, I go inside the wireframe and go to the edge constraints. Click on add edge. Click on the edge. Okay. Now let me show the floodlight. So this is what we have. But I want to create a tangency between this surface and this surface. So to do that, I double click on the surface and I go to the first edge. Double click on it, which is this edge. Choose the face and G1 continuity. Accept. Okay. Now let me select in the sketch 002 and hit spacebar to hide it. The next step is I want to create a solid based on these faces. I go to the curves workbench and hit Shift B and select everything. Go to parametric solid. The next step is I want to scale this solid down and using the scale as the cutter to cut inside the original solid. So I click on the solid and I go to the part workbench. I click on the solid and go to the part and go to the scale. And I want to scale it in the non-uniform scaling, but I want to keep it 0.98 S, Y, and Z. Okay. Now I have a new scale, and if I drop this one down and I show the solid, you can say now the scale is inside the solid because the scale is smaller. But I have a problem. The scale is now overlapping with the solid over here. So basically, I need to scale in the Z-axis a little bit more. I click on the scale and go to the Z scale. And I want to scale this one to 0.98. Oh, sorry, 0.89. You can see now it's smaller. Let me go to the wireframe to see what's going on. Go to the left view, and you can see now we have the offset between the inner and the outer. And up here, we also have the offset. Okay, something like this. And let me go back to the floodlight. And I will control selecting the solid first. And the scale later. And I go to cut. So now I'm going to cut it in half. So I will create a new sketch in the right view. And I will create a rectangle on the red line like this. Make sure the rectangle is longer than the object. Then I close. And extrude this sketch to 200. Symmetric. Okay. Now I control selecting this cut 001 and extrude. Go to the part, split, and then slide apart. Okay, now we just split this one in half. I go inside the folder and let me select in this one, the slide 0. Let me hide. So now you can see this is the result of the thickness. So you can see the thickness in here is smaller than the thickness in here. So I need to go back and change in the scale a little bit in the x-axis. So let me go back inside the slice and inside here and inside the cut. I click on the scale and I go inside the S scale. Let's scale this one smaller a little bit. That's 0.97. A little bit more. 0.96. As you can see, now it's thicker. Okay, it's better. Now I can Control selecting this edge inside and this edge outside. And I go to Fillet. Let's try 5 for that. Okay, now it's pretty good. And you can check by going inside the wireframe, and I think it's pretty good. Let's go back here. And then let me go inside here and show the slide 0. All right. The next step is I want to create holes up here. So let me go to create a new sketch on the top view, but also offset this one up to 10. And I want to create circles. 1, 2, 3. And also down here, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now I will select in this point and hit D, and we set it to 60. This one will be 10. Selecting these two circles, hit E for equal, and we set this one to 20. And the distance from this point to the center line will be 25. From here to here will be 50. Select these 3 circles, hit E for equal. Selecting this point, and the center line, hit S for symmetry constraint. And set the diameter to 3. Okay, now we set the distance from this point to this point will be 17. And the distance from this point to the center line will be 70. I come in here. Let me select in this point and this point. Hit 8 for horizontal. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I close. Maybe I should make the gap a little bit closer. Go inside here and change this one to 10. 7. Maybe 7 is better. Then I close. Click on the sketch, go to extrude. Let's try to 100. Symmetric. Okay. Control selecting this line 0 and extrude 003. Go to cut. Now we'll create a new sketch in the right view. And I will view the section. I will create a line vertical like this. Selecting this line and hit D, and we set it to 25. The distance from this point to the center line will be 60. And the distance between this point and the red line will be 5. Now I will create in polyline, and we start from here to here and finish in here. Selecting this line and this line, hit G and N to turn it into construction. Selecting these two, hit E for equal, and set the angle between these two will be 73. And the distance between this point and this point will be 26. Now we'll create an arc from here to here. Selecting this arc and this line, hit N for perpendicular. And I will create polyline, start from here to here and finish in here. And make sure this line have the horizontal constraint and this line have the vertical constraint. And we set the length of this line to 4.8. And then I will create an arc, connect from this point to this point. Curve out, selecting this arc and this arc. Hit E for equal. Now the sketch is fully constrained. I close. And I will revolve, select reference, and I choose this line. Okay. I also creating a new sketch on the top view, but I offset this one up to 10. I will reference this circle and this circle and creating 2 circles. Selecting these 2, hit E for equal and set the diameter to 19. Then I close. I will extrude this one to 4 symmetric. Okay. Selecting this circle and fillet this one to show. Selecting this circle, fillet this one to show. Maybe I should go inside here and change this one up a little bit. 19.5. Let me select this body and height. Maybe I can go inside here. Selecting this edge and then this edge inside. Let's go to the fillet. Let's try 1. Okay, something like this. And let me show the cut. Okay, that's it for the tutorial. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.